I am super excited to bring you today's beer. This is Northern Monk Brewing Company's Death Star Episode 3 Dulce De Leche Imperial Stout. Now, I've spoken to my wife. This is 10.5% ABV, it's their twist edition. The reason why I've spoken to my wife is because she had to explain to me what Dulce De Leche is. Now, it's kind of like one of those kind of caramel, you know, the insides of one of those little French fancies, those little French kind of cupcake type things. It's that kind of caramel that's inside that. That's what she told me anyway. So if she's been lying, well, you know, you can comment in the comments box and I'll pass it on to her that she doesn't know what she's talking about. But without further ado, I've reviewed episode 1, I've reviewed episode 2 of this series of beers. It was £5 a can. Now, I really chuckled to myself. I shouldn't chuckle to myself, but I read the comments. And I had a few comments yesterday. I got the price wrong again on the Northern Monk Imperial Stout that I reviewed just the other day. I can't remember off the top of my head. I can't remember the name of that beer now. But it was a brand new beer into Morrison's. It was £5 a can, and I said it was £3.50. So reading the comments, like, you know, you get your prices wrong all of the time and you're getting used to me making mistakes with the prices. Well, that's just it, isn't it? That's just it. We do make some mistakes on the channel, but hey, you know, nobody's perfect. But this is £5 per can in selected Tesco stores. Wow, the fruit flies were like, oh, they dived all over this. So we have a 2-finger tan coloured head. It's a jet black beer in the glass. Nice looking beer. I've seen now this Imperial Stout from Northern Monk that I reviewed just yesterday. It seemed a little bit more kind of full-bodied than this. This seems a little kind of thinner. Let's get the aroma. It smells great though. It really does. Indeed. Loads of coffee, loads of caramel. A little bit of raisin, little bit of plum, little bit of fruit in there. But it's got a sort of like a milky sugar quality to it. A caramel, milky sugar, like a little bit of one of those kind of big latte-like coffees. We've added a couple of tablespoons full of sugar in there, teaspoons full of sugar in there. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Let's concentrate on this beer first. It's a little bit tingly. If you're a fan of savoury food and there's not much sugar in your diet, then you will completely know what I mean by the tingly sweet sensation you get from things that are quite sweet. I'm getting that almost like the sugar is slightly burning the insides of my mouth a little bit. The sweetness is just slightly kind of, it's sticky, it's coating my teeth, it's coating my throat. It's tingly on the tongue. Now, all I eat in life, if I'm going to snack, I'll eat crisps and maybe a little bit of chocolate. But mainly it's crisps. I'm a big crisps fan. Chips in America, if you're watching. Anywhere else in the world, they're called chips. Big bags of chips, yeah? I very rarely sit and eat any kind of sweet product. So you won't see me eating strawberry laces. You won't see me eating any kind of sugary teddy bear things. Just not me. And I suppose if you like, the consequence of that is that I've tuned my palate to really like savoury and bitter things. So where am I going with this? I think Northern Monk have been really clever here. Northern Monk have gone Morrison's, Tesco, Imperial Stouts. If you want to try a more traditional Imperial Stout, then head to Morrison's and pick up the Northern Monk Imperial Stout that's on the shelf. Now, I've been standing here racking my brain, going through all of the different names. Rapscallion, Scallion, people called Scallion, I believe. Loads of different beers from Northern Monk. I'm going through all of the names of the beers in my head. Can't remember the name of the Imperial Stout I reviewed just yesterday. Worrying trend? I don't know. But anyway, if you want a much more traditional, dry, bitter, thicker, richer, not richer, rich is not the word, I would say more of a bigger, bolder mouthfeel on the beer, more of a traditional Imperial Stout, go for the Morrison's Imperial Stout. If you're a lover of these caramelly, chocolatey, sweet Imperial Stouts that balance off lots of that bitterness, then head to Tesco. I think that's as simple as that. And I think Northern Monk here, they've hedged their bets really well. There's going to be a lot of people in life who like sweeter beers, sweeter Imperial Stouts. I mean, for goodness sake, this is next. Raspberry, strawberry, coconut ripple. Goodness me, I picked that up in Tesco yesterday. I don't know what I'm going to be kind of thinking with this beer. I said it in the title of the thumbnail. Goodness me, what am I going to be thinking with this beer? I need to just go in with an open mind and give it a go. That's what we do as beer reviewers. So you got your choices. So now you've got your choices. Now you've got Tesco, Sweet Imperial Stout, Morrison's, more of a traditional Imperial Stout from the same brewery, Northern Monk. You have choices now. So let's nail down then. Let's drum down and drill down into the flavours of this beer. So I've drunk some of the beer, so I'm able to wash it round in the glass a little bit. It does seem a little bit thinner. It doesn't seem to have that same look to the beer as the Morrison's Imperial Stout did. That one had fantastic lacing. It was just tremendous. I loved that one. This one, I'm reading the side of the can, and they've got that kind of caramel, sweet chocolate sticker on there. And it's difficult to get past anything other than that. There is a slight kind of, almost like a slight kind of sherbety flavour in there with the amount of sweetness that's in the beer. There is a little bit of bitterness from the roasted malt in the beer, but it's really well balanced off with that sweetness. So the sweetness is massive over here, and it's just balancing off that roasted malt over here. I really do think that Northern Monk they're being very clever here in giving you a choice. Death Star, Sweet Stout, the drier stout in Morrison's, both £5 a can. It's serving it's serving every market really. For the dark stout drinker, this is serving every single market. What might be interesting to do for you guys is to buy the two cans and do a side by side. If you're able to drink two Imperial Stouts next to each other at the same time, and not fall asleep in the chair. If you're able to do that, it might be a really good idea to buy the 2 cans, one from Morrison's, one from Tesco, and just do a side by side and make up your own mind. I haven't done that because I only drank the beer yesterday, and in my mind it's very fresh, apart from the name of the beer. It's a much more kind of traditional Imperial Stout. But I'm going to forget about all of that now and just concentrate on this beer, which I already said I'm going to do. I want to talk about version 1 and version 2. Now, I loved the original number 1, episode 1 Death Star. I thought it was really good. I liked version 2 of the Death Star. It was good. But I think this is better. I think this is a more rounded effort by Northern Monk, and this is a better kind of beer. It really is quite nice. So what do they say about this Death Star 3 then? Not much, to be honest. They seem to have this kind of branding now where they're based in the old flax store in Marshall's Mill, Leeds. And that's kind of basically it. There's a guy's name here, Simon Wine. Brewed in the north with Simon Wine. A Dulce De Leche Imperial Stout, ideal for your sweet-toothed dark side. Very clever, very, very clever from Northern Monk. Nice name. I really like the name of the beer. I really like that name, the Death Star name. I think it's fantastic for a dark Imperial Stout. If you were ever looking for a name for your Imperial Stout, then I think Death Star is just fantastic. If you're a fan of the series, if you're a fan of these sweeter Imperial Stouts, then this is right up your alley. But if you're not, head to Morrison's. You can still pick up Northern Monk Imperial Stout there. And I think that's a very, very, very clever marketing strategy, to be honest. That's a very, very kind of, let's cover the whole market. The only problem I can see is if you don't have a Morrison's or if you don't have a Tesco local to you. And if you're living up in the north, then that's not really going to be a problem, I don't think, anyway. So it's a little bit thin for me. Little bit thin, little bit sherbety, little bit sweet. You can feel that tingling of the sugar on the palate. Am I going to finish it? I'll finish it. I will finish it, but then I'll have to go out the garden and dig a load of mud. You know, burn off those calories. I think I gave the Northern Monk beer yesterday from Morrison's a 10 out of 10. Much prefer the dry, more traditional Imperial Stout. This feels like I've got to run 3 or 4 miles just to burn off the sugars that I've just put into my body. And for that reason, and if I'm honest, I probably won't buy it again. Which is a shame. Because it's a lovely beer. It's a real treat of a beer. It's just you can feel that, you can almost feel, you can, that sugary burn on the sugary coating in the mouth. It's like, it's way too much for my palate. Way too much for my palate. But that's only a personal preference from myself. Again, if you love sweet stuff, if you've got a sweet tooth, you're going to love this. But for my rating, I'm going to say 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.